Heidi ho, my crafty friends. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. So today, we're going to make a mess. So what I've done is I've just taken a piece of that brown packing paper that you get with, packages that you get from Amazon, Etsy, eBay, all those places that when we order all that fun stuff, we get that brown packing paper in it. And I've just glued with a glue stick on top book pages, old newspapers, things like that. And I've used a glue stick. I've just used my glue stick. I haven't used anything wet on it because I'm going to get it wet here in a minute. Now I've got out my big stamp block and I've got out some of my oxides. Now the reason I've got out my oxides is, well, I want to make a mess. So let me grab my apron. Let's get aproned up here. And I've got my sleeves pushed up. And we're going to add some color to this. Hold on a second here while I tie my apron. Because I don't want to get, I don't want to get this all over my shirt. Let me pull my sleeves up a little bit more. Okay. So, now what I want to do here is I'm going to add my lighter colors first. I'm going to add my rusty hinge, my shabby shutters, and my bundled sage first. And then I'm going to come in with a couple of my darker colors. And I'm using some gathered twigs, some scorched timber, and of course my vintage photo. And then of course I have my little squirt bottle. Now I'm going to start with my shabby shutters first. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to squish it a couple of times here. Now, those of you that have seen me do this before, feel free to fast forward. And then I just squirt it a little bit, to get it a little runny. Can you all see that? And then I just twist it on here. I just want some color here and there on my, on my page. Now, Shabby Shutters is a very light green. It's just a very light green. And that's kind of what I want. I don't want anything dark here on the bottom. I just want something, a little bit light, kind of springy. That's why I'm bringing in some green. And I'm not using a lot of water on it because I want it to give me some, I don't want it to totally get rid of it. Now, after I've used that, I'm just going to take the pad and I'm going to go over it a little bit because I want to pick up some of those edges. Oops. Okay, that edge isn't glued down, so I need to glue that edge down. Because this is kind of a spring journal, so I want to get a little bit of my springy colors in there. And I'm not going to worry about this piece right here yet. I'll glue it down here in a minute. Okay. I'm done with this right this minute, so I'm going to put it aside. And I'm going to do the same thing with my bundled sage. This is one of my favorite colors. But I'm going to start, it's kind of a yellowish green. And oh my gosh, it's so pretty. It's one of my favorite colors. But I'm going to start with this going like this. And I'm just rubbing it. That's all I'm doing. I'm not doing anything else. As you can see, that's all I'm doing. Okay, I'm not adding any more water. Now, my rusty hinge, it's a little bit brighter. Okay, just one little squirt. And I think I need another little squirt. That wasn't quite enough. There we go. And I'm going to use my finger to kind of smush it around. That's why I put my apron on. Oh, that's better. That's better. Let's get a little more. And I like the orange because the my first flowers that I'm gonna get for the spring, they'll have some orange in them. So I like the orange and the green together. And I like using oxides because I can get them to move around a little bit. Now, any stamping that I do is going to be in black, so I don't have to worry. Okay, and that's all that I'm going to do with this. I'm done with this. That's done. Now, these guys I'm going to be a little gentle with. And you'll notice I haven't cleaned this off. Okay, these guys I'm going to be a little gentle with because they can be a little overwhelming. If you're not careful, they can get a little overwhelming. Now, the one I'm using now is Gathered Twigs. And it's kind of a, I don't know, it's kind of a reddish brown. There's a good example of it. So I hope you guys are having a good day today. I hope you, whoops, I didn't put anything on there, did I? I hope you have fun and play with your paper like I'm doing. Forgot to put the stuff on there again. Goofy girl. So it gets when I'm getting hungry. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to take this and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to rub it just a little bit. Just like that. Just to kind of hit a couple of the little highlighted areas. Just a little bit. I've got to be gentle with this one because it tends to get a little wild and crazy on me. Okay, now this one I'm going to shove right in there for a minute. Now my scorched timber is really, really dark. It's about the darkest brown that I have. I call it a black brown. I know it's not really, but to me it's really dark. I mean, I really like it, but it gets really dark. Okay, Lori. Now, when I'm finished here, I'm going to glue down these areas that need glued down. And then I'm going to take this over to my dryer. And I'm going to dry it, maybe a little bit if I need to. Now, let's see. I think we're good. Now, let's... Ouch. Now, this one is Vintage Photo. And we all know Vintage Photo. I think I need something right over here. I think I need to scoot it over a little bit. Oh, that's better. So I thought I would get this together because I want to, you know, make some tags and maybe cover a page. Oh, much better. Now, you could use this for a couple of different things. You could use this to cover a book if, you know, if you're going to make a journal. You could use this as a book cover. You could use this, for just about anything that you want. Now, I still have some on here, so I'm going to just spray this just a little bit. And I'm going to get my paper towel here because I want to clean it off of any residue that's left on there. There we go. That's better. Before I put it away. Okay, let's see. Oh, and see, that's not even too wet. Let me take a drink of water here. So I'm good. I don't even need to dry it. Now my stamping is going to be done in my black archival ink. And I'm going to use this stamp. And then I have a couple of others that I want to do. Did I get ink on it? Yeah. Now, I've had this stamp for a while, and I don't... Oops, you know what? I forgot to glue that down, didn't I? Let's go on and get this stamp on here. And let's glue that down. And I want to finish up what's left in this stick here, which is just, a little bit. There. I thought I got all that down. Okay, I think, oops, right there's a little piece. And up here. Now, you could also use, if you wanted, you don't have to use glue stick. You could use your matte medium. You could use a wet white glue. Oh, gosh. If you wanted. Like Elmer's or tacky glue. Okay, this glue stick is done. Okay, now let's get this stamped down a little bit more. Yeah, I'm just stamping, here and there, a little bit everywhere. Okay. So yesterday, well, let's see, I'm filming this on Monday, so yesterday to me would be Sunday. We'd been doing some spring cleaning and packing up winter stuff, and I decided it was time to clean out the attic. Oh my gosh. Why didn't you all tell me that cleaning out the attic was probably not a good idea? Somebody should have. Anybody should have, I guess. Okay, so this one's is a brand new stamp. I've never used it. And my husband was working outside. Let's see, I'm going to see if I can use this to get a flat impression. And, we live in a rural area. Did I get it? I did not. So he was getting everything. We've had storms for the last two weeks, maybe 3 weeks, plus everything we got in the fall. And our yard was just a mess. And so he got all that cleaned up. Oh, what a pretty little stamp. This is a Tim Holtz stamp. It's called Flutter from Stampers Anonymous. I mean, Stampers.com. No, Stampers Anonymous. And it's a cute little stamp. But I got it at Stampers.com. I mean, I'll think of it. Scrapbooking.com. Good heavens. And so he worked outside all day. And I worked in the attic all day. You know, I thought, you know, we've lived in this house a good long time. There's got to be stuff up here that, you know, hasn't been looked at, hasn't been touched. You know, in all the many, many years we've lived here, that can be donated, can be gotten rid of, and, you know, all that stuff that you do when you're doing that. Oh my gracious, you guys. So by the time the end of the day came, oh, isn't that a cute little stamp? You can't really see it very well on that. So let's see. Let's see if I've got, will this fit on there? Yeah. Let me see if I can show you. It was an exhausting day, to say the least. And because he was out in the yard, you know, bending over and picking stuff up. Well, now that's not a very dark copy, but it stamps out very nicely. I had to laugh at him. Should not have laughed at him. He stood up to go do something, and he got a cramp in his leg. Bless his little heart. I felt bad for him. He squealed like a little girl. Scared the tar out of me too. You know, I thought something really, really was wrong. And here he just had a cramp in his leg. He said, Charlie horse, Charlie horse. And I said, what? He said, I got Charlie horse in my leg. Okay, granted, I should not have laughed. But I did. I know, I'm terrible. I'm just cleaning off the excess ink on this. Oh my goodness. I know I'm a horrible wife. I know. He said, you're a terrible wife. I said, I know, but you squealed like a little girl. And he turns around at me and looks at me and says, well, it hurt. I said, I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. Said you shouldn't squeal like a little girl. Bless his little heart. But today it felt better. Oh man. Okay, so I've got that cleaned off my hands now. All right, so I also have some other garden-themed things. I have some bumblebees that I want to use. Where is this? Okay, I have some splats. There's the bumblebees and the bumblebees. And some splats. Okay, let's get those out of here. Now this is just a stencil that we're going to use. Okay, so we can move our water, and I'm going to get out the brush. Right here. Pardon me. That's what I get for laughing at it. I get an unsuspecting sneeze. Now, where's my black brush here? Okay. Now, where did it go? Where did the ink go? Oh, there it is. Okay, so we're going to put, we're going to move our water. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so I'm going to use this splat and maybe this coffee ring. Let's see how that works. So I think we're going to put the splat right up here. And I'm not going to make it real dark, so I don't have a lot on here. Oh, yeah. And then the splats, I think I'm going to bring them down here. And they're going to be the same way. They're not real dark. And I could actually use hickory smoke on them. Let's use hickory smoke on them. All right, stay right there. So I'm using hickory smoke on them because I don't want them, you know, really, really dark. Oh, yeah, I like the gray. I like the gray for the splat. Now I want to put one over here too. And I don't have a lot on here. I just barely rubbed it on the gray. But I do want a little bit. Oh, I really like that. Okay. I really like that. Now, I'm still using the gray on the coffee ring up here at the top. I really like the gray. I really like the gray on this. It really looks nice on this, you know, with all the print on it. I really like it. All right, so I'm going to put that back up there. And I'm going to move this aside. Now, what did I do with the bumblebees? That's the package. There they are, right there. Okay, so in here are the bumblebees. I want the bumblebees out of here. And in this set, you get the stencil to make a beehive, plus you get the bees, and you get the on the stamp you also get everything to make it look like I'll show you. This makes a great tag or page. This makes a great one. I've used it several times. So these are the stamps. So you get the bumblebees, you get the identification, you get the file, you get the number, you get the specimen tag, the correspondence. You get everything you need If you want to make like a bumblebee tag or a bumblebee page, a journaling card, anything like that, it's a great set. And this is it's a Tim Holtz, and so it's by Stampers Anonymous, and it's THMM111, and it is called, it's one of the mixed media stamps and stencil collections, and it is called, let me see if I can find the name for you. Oh, I think it's on this. It's just called the Mixed Media Set. But it doesn't say. But it doesn't have a name. It comes with the stencil and the stamps, but it doesn't really have a name. I'll leave this up so you can, if you want to take a screenshot of it, you can. That's what it is. It's got the bees, and on it it's got like a butterfly. It's not a bug, it's a moth. It's got a bee, it's got a little bug, and then it's also got the stencil for the beehive. And it's called a Mixed Media Stamps and Stencil Collection. And I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. I've used it many, many times. So on here, I want to put off this set. Wait, you don't go there. I put you in the wrong spot. I want to use this moth, and I'm going to put it up there, and on the same thing, I want to use, okay, it helps if I turn it over, the specimen stamp, like that. I'm thinking I need to re-ink this. Let's use the other one. Oh, that's better. Oh, that one turned out much better. At least I can see it. There, that one turned out nice. There. Did you see it down there? Okay. Okay, so I've got 3 of these on there. So that one does need reinked. So let's get that off of there. So there are some numbers on here that I want to use. I think I'm going to use this long skinny one. Let's see, I think it goes this way. Okay. Okay. Oops, got you in the wrong space. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I think I'm done with this set. I think I have some flowers over here I want to use. Now I'm going to put this set. Okay, I got to figure out how it goes back in here. Okay, and that one's done. Now in here, there's this big, nope, it's not the one. Ah, here it is. This one. This one. This one here. What in the world? Okay, got 2 different bags in there. Okay, so I have this little flower right here. I have this, and I have this. Now when you make these, sorry, you don't have to completely stamp them when you make them. And I'm just about done stamping right now because, you know, there may be something that I want to stamp later on as I get to making it. All right, let's get that water out of the way. You know, I may get to the point later on. Let's do the big one first. That when I decide what I'm going to make with it, that I might want to do something different on it then. Okay, so I need to get out my small black. And let's use it for this big one. Now I also have this one that I can use if needed, because I've used these so much that okay. Now this would be a good page stamp to put across the bottom of a page. Okay, so I think I'm going to be done stamping, and I think I'm just going to cut into the sizes that we want. Or the sizes that I use. And then we're going to go from there. So what I wanted to make with this, and then we can continue with our stamping. Okay. Because I think that's going to be easier for me to see. Now, let's get this and see if it's going to fit. Now, I'm going to try and use my paper cutter. It should fit. Yeah, it's going to fit. So, I'm going to cut them. Let's go this way. All right, I'm going to cut at 3.5 inches. That will give me plenty of space to straighten things if needed. And I don't know how big this page is. I have no idea. I just picked that number arbitrarily. And I'm not paying any attention to what's on the page, what isn't on the page. I have no idea. I'm just cutting. All right, what we got here? Okay. Okay, so here are our strips. Now, let's see. And I don't even know if they're straight. They are 12 inches long. Perfect. So they're 3.5 by 12s. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. And some are straight and some are not. See, you can see, I don't think the first one is, oh dear, I've got the hiccups, is straight. Okay, so let's see how much time we've got, and if we are out of time, oh dear, we are out of time. Okay, so when we come back, I'm going to have these cut into things that we can do with them, and then we're going to play in our journal. And we're going to be using these for something. And we are going to be decorating in our journal. And that'll give you time to make some of these also. And I can have an opportunity to decorate these some more. Now, you can put additional papers on them. You know, thin papers like these, you know, that don't have backs on them. In your collaging, you can fussy cut things like this bee out and put on them if you want. You can put anything on them you want at this point to decorate. Like on here, I can fussy cut this flower out. I can go into my fussy cut book and I can fussy cut out these bees. I can do whatever I want, and I can fussy cut out butterflies and put on there, especially if I'm going to use them as tags, if I'm going to use them for journaling cards, whatever I'm going to use them for, now's the time that I can fussy cut something and put on them after I've cut them out, because I've got my background. You have your background done. Now's the time to decorate it a little bit more to help you get what you want and how you want it. Now's the time to do it, because you've cut them, you've used your paper cutter, and all it is paper. That's all it is. And if you don't like something, throw it away. You know, put it in your recycling bin. Do whatever you want with it. You can add ribbon, you can add washi tape, whatever you want. This piece down here that we've cut, I really like this. Right here. Let's see. This piece, I really like this. So I might take the time, straighten this up, add a little bit of a backing to it, and make it into a pocket. Up here, I might make this a little flip out or a pocket or something. So there's two. This, I don't know what I'm going to do with this piece. The same with these. I might make I might decorate these further because they're big enough. Put some lace on them and make them side tucks, or make them into pockets, because I have my backgrounds and now I can decorate them further. But this piece here I really like, so I can straighten it up, I can do whatever I want with it, and I can have, I can have a pocket that I want. Okay, so there. So I have a start now. Alrighty, so until I see you again in our next Ladybug Journal video, I want to thank you guys for stopping by and playing with me and getting messy. Now it's time to go wash hands and get all cleaned up for lunch. And I hope you had a good time, and I hope you play and experiment with some paper like we did today. And until I see you again in our next Ladybug Journal video, ta-ta for now.